Fortnite skins inspired by movies. To Top 5 Gaming, welcome back. Confusing that probably was. And we're gonna dive into some skins that were inspired by some of your favorite blockbusters. But first, we have to take a second to present to you a segment that we like to call a bunch of people falling off of a rideable version of Fred.
Run, shine and run, shine and run. I'll be in the bag, smoking flash, just a phone. Run, shine and run, shine and run. I'll be in the bag, smoking flash, just a phone.
Smash like. Now let's get into the list. Number 10, the Reaper. Now the Reaper was all the rage when he first appeared. For the first time in Fortnite, we had a skin that was suited and booted, ready to dominate the battlefield and look good doing it. Don't get me wrong, there's some amazing skins out there, but every now and then it's just nice to dress up for the occasion, you know? Unfortunately for those people that were late to the Fortnite world, this skin was exclusive to the Season 3 Battle Pass at Tier 100. Almost straight away, the community noticed its uncanny resemblance to the main character from the film series John Wick. When you place them side by side, there's almost no difference. It's one of the few skins they tried to not mess with and simply kept to the original style, of course with that added Fortnite cartoonish theme that turned out awesome, by the way. However, the Reaper came with his own unique items, altogether known as the Hired Gun set, and each of these also have direct links to the film. For a harvesting tool, he got the trusty number 2 unlockable at Tier 79. Got a lightweight and compact build structure to it, with a small orange pencil sticking out the front end. For those that may have watched the films, then you might have recognized it from John Wick's Chapter 2, in which he uses a couple of those very same pencils to fight off attackers. One thing the Reaper didn't get was a back bling, which, when you think about it, it makes sense. Not much would go well with a suit. He did get a glider though, and Fortnite were sneaky with this item. The High Octane was a hidden reward that you would unlock when reaching Tier 100. This glider was styled after John Wick's Mustang, also from Chapter 2, a slick yet powerful looking muscle type car. The High Octane had that powerful engine roar that you get straight from a Mustang, and had red lights on the back, and when drifting forward would leave a faint red beam of light trailing behind you. Number 9 is Thanos. Thanos was in Fortnite. Let's just take a moment to remember that, because for some people it's almost unbelievable. Most games tend to stick to their own universe. It's not too often you see direct collaborations between gaming companies and mixing their two different worlds, plus the fact that this was between the Marvel universe and the Fortnite realm made this event one that won't be forgotten as long as Fortnite's alive. We have seen a couple other unique appearances, like Wreck-It Ralph showing up at the Risky Reels Theater a while back before they replaced it with the block. But when the Infinity Gauntlet LTM showed up on the 8th of May, we were actually able to play as Thanos, and not just like some new skin, but as an actual mini-boss. But, well, he's not that big, but he definitely was powerful enough. Starting off the match, the Infinity Gauntlet would spawn randomly somewhere around the map. The first player to reach the glove would instantly be transported up into the air and transformed into Thanos. He only had 2 basic moves, jump and punch, but to be honest, that was all you need. You could perform a punch combo on the ground or perform a mega jump in which you can use punch to perform a ground pound. In all honesty, it was no different from the Infinity Sword. Only difference is the Gauntlet was in LTM and not in normal matches, affecting the game's balance. In at number 8, we've got the Merry Marauder. So the Merry Marauder popped up for the Christmas season of 2017. We got quite a variety of Christmas skins, with some looking like reindeer and others with just that classic knitted jumper theme. But the Merry Marauder was one of the first skins of its kind. This was a skin that had a complete body texture, similar to the Galaxy skin that showed up later. Instead of an animated Galaxy, this skin had a complete gingerbread man style outfit. Most people will obviously recognize this type of skin straight away. It looks exactly like the tradition gingerbread men you can find in shops at all times of the year now, not just Christmas. But the main personality Fortnite have given this skin seems like it was most likely inspired after Gingy from the Shrek films. For pretty much most people of all ages out there, you've most likely seen Shrek at some point or another. In this, you encounter Gingy, a living, speaking gingerbread man. He has a pretty grumpy nature on occasion, a bit like a grumpy old man, except he's a lot smaller than the Merry Marauder. You can see they've definitely tried to bring that over through the use of Merry Marauder's facial features. That is one grumpy looking cookie, but with the 2018 Christmas holidays, they re-released the Merry Marauder and brought it back with some new variants, one of which can actually make your Merry Marauder a lot happier. Look at him smiling, little gumdrop buttons. Number 7, Skull Trooper. This skin first showed up on October 10th of 2017 for Halloween, before people really got an idea of how rare Fortnite were keeping certain skins. So for a lot of people playing at the time, they were probably thinking along the same lines, sure, it's a new and awesome skin, I could probably get it another time. It was only those few that actually bought it there, and then that would probably later realize how fortunate they had been. After not showing up until a year later, the Skull Trooper had become one of the most talked about skins in Fortnite. Even when they did bring it back, they brought back alternative styles, but kept a new purple theme exclusive to the OG owners of the skin. One thing in particular that boosted the demand for the skin was when the inspiration behind the skin was found, which wasn't really discovered until after the Skull Trooper had left the item shop, so by then it was kind of too late. At first, a lot of people assumed it was just a standard skeleton costume you might find anywhere at Halloween, but after a short time later, people people began to realize that this was the exact same style as from the Karate Kid film, famous film series about a student learning karate. The scene that the Skull Troopers come from is one in which some thugs are dressed up in these outfits trying to beat up the student when his teacher comes in for their rescue. And at number 6, we've got Carbide. So some skins can have such a subtle change to them from their inspired pieces that it take you a little while for you to catch on. It's not until you see it from a different perspective that you see the familiarity. The Carbide is especially one of these skins. He wasn't exactly a rare or expensive skin to get, as he was a tier 1 reward for the Season 4 Battle Pass, an entire Battle Pass in season that was filled with superheroes and villains. I mean, what more could you want? Do you need any more? I don't need any more. Wait, what's that? Unlockable armor? Don't mind if I do. As you leveled up in Season 4, you could also grab extra armor for Carbide and the Omega skins, which is why no one really noticed it at first. However, when you pull all the armor together, the shape seems a bit familiar because of that blue that a lot of people won't see straight away, but when you stand him next to Iron Man, you can see just how similar the outfits are. A lot of the core armor has the exact same patterns and interlocking segments, especially the face. Not sure why it's blue though. Maybe with certain inspired skins, they still want to add their own Fortnite touch to it, or perhaps they're trying to avoid more lawsuits. That would be good. Nobody likes lawsuits. Number 5 is Battlehawk. This skin, like Carbide, was also a tier 1 reward for purchasing the Season 4 Battle Pass. At the time, a lot of players, including myself, didn't really know what he was supposed to represent in Season 4. Most of it was all about superheroes, villains, and the Visitor setting off a rocket. So where does Battlewhack come into this? Looks pretty much like your standard Special Forces type, but with an eye patch. As you begin to look through the Season 4 Battle Pass, though, you notice some other rewards that all belong to the same set as the Battlehawk, the Advanced Forces set. This set is one of the few that has more than just 2 skins. There's over 7 items in this set, including 4 different camo soldier-style outfits, but now you're starting to realize that it's probably just a cool commando set they wanted to add in. But then someone shows this picture to you, and everything you thought you'd figured out is all undone. It's by no way confirmed, but the fact is that Battlehawk looks incredibly similar to Thor from the film Thor Ragnarok. From the style, the outfit, down to the eye patch, mohawk, and beard line, it's almost impossible to say that it's just a coincidence. The fact that this was introduced to superheroes also supports that this is most likely, it's inspired by Thor, it's inspired by Thor, it's inspired by Thor, it's inspired by Thor, okay? Number 4, Valor. It's no surprise that Fortnite made a lot of skins inspired after superheroes from the real world. Well, not the real world, our world, but not the Fortnite world anyway. You get what I mean. The fact is that everyone loves a superhero. Plus, they all have their own unique powers, traits, costumes, so when recreating multiple skins, you got plenty to choose from. Valor was an unlockable superhero at tier 71 that came with her own pickaxe and glider, which you could also get as a battle pass reward. Straight away, people noticed this skin was supposed to be modeled after Wonder Woman. There's a lot of little differences in different colors, but the basic shape and style of the outfit is instantly recognizable. Like most skins, you don't notice a lot of similarities until you put them side by side. With Valor and Wonder Woman, you can see the same style crowns, the similar red themed top, the gray bottom all match up. The only thing Valor doesn't have is the lasso of truth, a nice touch with her glider. The wings of Valor are already a direct reference to Wonder Woman's history through its name, but the fact is she can fly. A lot of times stories are told about Wonder Woman. She's said to have wings. In Fortnite, they gave Valor the same effect through her glider. And in number 3, we've got Codename Elf. Bringing it back out of the Season 4 Battle Pass, we're going to Christmas one more time to visit Codename Elf. First showing up for Christmas 2017, it became quite a popular skin. When most people think of elves, you probably think of small little elves making toys or tall acrobatic elves firing arrows. But for a lot of people, it reminds them of Buddy the Elf. 2003, we saw the release of Elf, a Christmas-themed film for all the family involving a human adopted by Santa who was raised as an elf, but then returned to the real world to meet his real father. It sounds more complicated than it actually is, but the film blew up. Even when Will Ferrell admitted in an interview that he wasn't sure if the film would do well or not. The fact is, in the Christmas season, you either become an instant classic or fade out quickly. Now though, this is found to be a favorite Christmas film by many around the world, and Fortnite seemed to want to embrace that too by adding their very own Buddy the Elf to the game. It's fairly difficult to not see this lookalike, that green velvety coat with gold trim and yellow tights. Fortnite have almost kept this to its original style, except getting rid of the baggy coat and maintaining that slim build outline. Number 2 is Rust Lord. Now we're back. The superheroes again quickly, but this time it's not from Season 4. Superhero style skins were being introduced before that, and some players didn't even notice for a while. At tier 23 on the Season 3 Battle Pass, you'd unlock the Rust Lord. You know this guy. Catch him doing the Take the L dance anywhere, at all times. This isn't the most famous for anything in particular, but it's definitely spoken about in relation to OG players. After all, you don't see too many people with Season 3 skins on anymore. If you didn't get the inspiration straight away, then you probably just assumed it's a cool-looking bike dude. And by cool, I mean not cool. Got him! And it could be straight out of Mad Max, which, when you look at Rustlord, also seems like a possibility. However, when you line him up next to Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, the inspiration makes a lot more sense. The base style for the outfit is very much the same, with the red leather jacket and brown leather patches. The facial mask is fairly different, but still has that silver style. And if you're still in any doubt about this one, then just remember their names: Star-Lord, Rustlord. Definitely no correlation, though. Definitely not the same. Not in any way. Please don't sue Epic. Number 1, Leviathan. Probably one of the most random skins on our list is the Leviathan. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this skin, but it was the first skin in the game that used an animal. Sure, it had a humanoid form, astronaut-like outfit, but it was still just a fish inside a bowl. I wonder what made them think of that. Well, it seems like somebody found out. And once again, it's hard to not see how similar they are. But to be fair, when you're talking about a fish inside a bowl on an astronaut-like costume, you're probably not going to find many different versions out there. This Leviathan seemed to be inspired after the Megamind film, released in 2010. This animated film was all about a very misunderstood supervillain, which Megamind has a pet fish called Minion who he builds a mechanical body for. Obviously, the Minion style for Megamind is too big for Fortnite, but when you shrink him down to be more suitable, you can imagine him looking a lot like Leviathan. A lot like Leviathan, okay? It's probably him. But that has been our list of the top 10 Fortnite skins inspired by movies. And if you don't click that like button and subscribe to the channel right now, I'll kiss your mother-in-law. No, that's just weird. Keep it here on Top 5 Game.